Hello, and welcome back to the Hustlers Union YouTube channel, where entrepreneurs are born. Today, we are studying the book CYBERNETICS by Maxwell Maltz. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And make sure you stay till the end for something very exciting. In 1960, Dr. Maxwell Maltz wrote a book called Cybernetics, The Steersman. That's what cybernetics originally meant in Greek. Now you can understand that a servo mechanism is a cybernetic system which steers automatically to a pre-chosen target. This was a new idea that was discovered in the Second World War. Think of a guided missile. You start by setting a target or goal, and then you launch it. From now on, the missile works automatically. It uses its mechanical sensors to stay on track. These mechanical sensors give positive or negative feedback depending on whether the missile is still on target or not. Today, we will be going through our top 5 takeaways from the book and how you can implement the teachings to improve your life. Takeaway number 1: self-image. The way we live is a direct result of how we see ourselves. Whether you like it or not, we all have a cybernetic mechanism in our subconscious mind which portrays our self-image. And that self-image operates like a cybernetic mechanism. Therefore, your self-image is a cybernetic instrument. Confusing, right? This self-image defines who we are and what we believe in. It takes into account our past experiences, successes, failures, feelings, and behaviors. As a result, this image represents a foundation on which we build our personality on. Now, most people let past experiences define them in a negative way. Therefore, they end up behaving in a way that's not coherent with who they really are, but only with who they think they are. However, this mental distortion can be overcome, which is why we should adopt a new method for better defining ourselves and living life according to the person we were really meant to be. To do this, we must construct a new self-image, one which resembles us the closest. What we fail to understand is that every one of us has internal greatness that is just waiting to be unleashed. And before you go further, here's a reminder. You are that human being. Takeaway number 2: imagination. Our nervous system cannot tell the difference between our imagination and reality. Therefore, if our body can remember success, whether it was imaginary or real, it will continue to repeat the things needed to create that success again, which is why self-perception is so important. The thing to point out is that our brain doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. Instead, it acts based on the information we send it through our thoughts. This is such a powerful takeaway from the book that everyone should be implementing in their life right now, today. We can imagine a new version of ourselves through our attitude and interpretation of various situations, describing the new paradigm to our brain, which will in turn find a way to make that image come to fruition. However, to reach that new level, we must have a clear picture of the person we want to be. By regularly checking in on that self-image, we make sure that every effort we make will be directed toward that goal, therefore enhancing its power. Takeaway number 3: the success mechanism, the 7 principles. Maltz teaches that there are 7 elements of a personality that attract success. The acronym SUCCESS summarizes these fundamentals. S. Sense of direction. The first element is sense of direction, or having an objective to pursue. Direct yourself towards success every day by setting goals. As Albert Einstein once said, people are like bicycles. They can keep balance only as long as they keep moving. U for understanding. Understanding to know when your fear or desire is altering the truth. Anxiety, fear, and desire cause us to misunderstand events, which leads to failure. C. Courage. Then we have courage, which is taking calculated risks to make your goals happen. Don't delay action until you're completely confident. Even imperfect courage is better than none. C for charity. Afterwards comes charity, which consists of putting the problems and needs of people first. Caring for others is a hallmark of outstanding individuals. E for esteem. Esteem is next and is all about having a positive self-opinion. Tell yourself often that you can do whatever you think you can. So do yourself a favor and stop considering yourself as a loser or a victim. You're way better than that. S for self-confidence. Self-confidence comes after esteem. You can improve this one by remembering your past successes. Learn to accept and love yourself for who you are, and forget your past failures. As Thomas Edison put it, I've not failed 10,000 times. I've not failed once. I've succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways won't work. S. Self-acceptance. And last, we have self-acceptance, which is learning to live and be okay with yourself, weaknesses, and strengths. By the way, no one is perfect, and those who pretend to be are just fooling themselves. Takeaway number 4, the failure mechanism, the 7 principles. Maltz also teaches that there are 7 elements of a personality that attracts failure. The acronym FAILURE summarizes these fundamentals and how we can avoid them when trying to live a positive life. F. Frustration. Disappointments and humiliations will come. We should learn to embrace them without being too cruel on ourselves. It's only when we let a temporary failure define our emotional state for too long that we become victims, therefore failing in the quest to become the best version of ourselves possible. A. Aggressiveness. Misdirected aggressiveness follows disappointment. It's important, however, to point out the difference between positive aggressiveness, which disguised as pure determination allows you to fearlessly tackle your goals and challenges in life, and negative aggressiveness, which looks just like frustration and will never lead to positive outcomes. I. Insecurity. Insecurity refers to the always present thought of not being enough for something greater. However you see it, insecurity is just a mental block or a negative self-image that we can both create and break with our thoughts. Oftentimes, though, it is just enough to stop us from achieving our fullest potential. L. Loneliness. Each one of us gets, or feels, lonely at times, but we shouldn't be lonely on purpose. A life lived with others is by far one of the greatest pleasures life itself has to offer, and mingling with people can make us more interesting, less anxious, and it also provides us a great opportunity to understand various types of individuals, giving us a better understanding of human perspectives and attributes as a result. U. Uncertainty. Uncertainty relates to being fearful of making mistakes. Indeed, mistakes can be costly for those who've grown up with a perfectionist mindset, and that's why, for them, making a decision can be a matter of life or death. If you're one of those people, just remember that making mistakes and adjusting course is what life is all about. If you never make mistakes, that means you're not even trying to do something worth doing. R. Resentment. Beside being the worst company for those around them, the individual that constantly harbors bitterness and grief towards others also loves the victim game. They're used to blaming everybody and everything around them when times get tough. In very few cases, though, resentment is the result of such external circumstances. Expecting something from others is never the answer to a satisfying life. Finding joy in yourself through personal discovery and development is. E. Emptiness. Emptiness is very similar to disillusion, in the sense that it alludes to an individual who, for a number of reasons, is not able to enjoy life anymore. This mental state, however, can be overcome through goal-setting practices. The individual that is morally, mentally, and physically committed to something is not even concerned about internal emptiness, as he wisely chooses his battles and always strives to give his best to the cause. Takeaway 5. Your emotional well-being determines whether or not you can become your best self. Allow your true self to shine by taking care of your emotional health. You must continue to nurture your heart, your mind, and your spirit to advocate for your true self. Another unlikely but vital key to our emotional well-being is practicing disinhibition. When we focus too much on what others want from us or what they think of us, we hinder our full expression of self. In contrast, disinhibition teaches that we should speak before we think. This is one way to eliminate the self-conscious thoughts that often prevent us from being ourselves. If you are interested in learning more about the concepts we've talked about today, then please sign up to the link in the description and we'll send you a completely free, in-depth document full of study notes for you to keep and look back on. We have also included links in the description which will take you straight to Amazon if you wish to purchase the book. This video is sponsored by The Print Supplier. Go and check them out at www.theprintSupplier.com for bespoke custom artwork at affordable prices. Use code HUSTLERS at checkout for 10% off your entire order.